Welcome to NTRAS, everybody. In today's video, we're going to be talking about virtual private networks, or VPNs. We talked a little bit about the Firewalla kind of appliance, the gold that I had set up, and went through that a little bit. But one of the things I really wanted to talk to everyone about was how to set up VPNs in Firewalla, Ubiquiti, and of course AnyConnect. With Firewalla, we have an OpenVPN and WireGuard option. Ubiquiti has a really cool option for teleports, and AnyConnect is, of course, Cisco's SSL-based VPN, and we'll get into that. Now, as you're going to see here on the screen, virtual private network. So the virtual private network allows you to connect to one network over the internet or wherever you're from. In this case, Firewalla, OpenVPN, and WireGuard, and Ubiquiti is going to use teleport. We also, of course, have AnyConnect, especially if you're in the enterprise realm. So, if you don't really understand what a VPN is, Remote Access VPNs, in this case RA, is a little different than site-to-site, but remote access is what we're going to be focusing on here. So say right here, this is my iPhone. I want to be able to connect to my home and maybe my servers, my file server, whatever. So because my home, and I'm going to put right here my little my Firewalla and my Ubiquiti. My phone is connected to the internet through a cellular provider. My Firewalla is connected to the internet, and my Ubiquiti is also connected to the internet. So by using OpenVPN, WireGuard, Ubiquiti, AnyConnect, and I might want to have, the firepower sitting right here as well, I can use any one of these VPN connection options to connect from my phone to any one of these. So you can basically decide or choose what type of VPN you might want to have. Now once again, AnyConnect is enterprise. We'll show that a little bit as well, but we're not going to go into detail on AnyConnect, but we will go into detail on OpenVPN, WireGuard, and Ubiquiti. So in this case, you're basically making it so your phone is on the same network as your home. So on my phone, of course, I load up, let's just say WireGuard, because I kind of like that one the best. But if you have a Ubiquiti system, that's probably another really good way to go. So from the phone, I can VPN into my house, and I can access my file shares, local systems. I can even protect myself from the internet, because instead of going directly to the internet from my cell phone, I'm going through the internet from my home. Now, I did have an interesting question posed to me by someone on YouTube previously, Jesse S. Now, they were asking me about like paid for VPN service providers like ExpressVPN, NordVPN, etc. This is not that. This is you connecting to your house. Now, the nice thing about you connecting to your house is you get to use Ubiquiti, Firepower, or even Firewalla as kind of your ISP, your gateway. So it'll block or allow any particular traffic and will stop the internet from getting to your phone. Now, one of the nice things about Firewalla I found out is that you can actually get ExpressVPN or Nord or even Surfshark and have the Firewalla connect to these services. So what happens is, say you're on your phone and you want to get to the internet, but you don't want to have to, go straight to ExpressVPN or Nord. You want to go to your home first, or you have all these computers at your house. You can actually have them all go through a paid VPN without having to turn it on every individual device. So basically your Firewalla attaches to the paid service provider, and everything that connects through your Firewalla will use those service providers. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention here, so what ExpressVPN or NordVPN do, what they do is they basically create maybe an OpenVPN connection to one of their cloud servers over the internet, and from there they give you like secure DNS, and they give you a NAT connection to the internet. So it looks like you're attaching to the internet through one of their internet servers. So like if I'm in the United States and I want to make it look like I'm coming from the United Kingdom, as an example, I would open up ExpressVPN or NordVPN and choose that server as my outgoing internet. And that's what that'll do. So basically, the internet will hit ExpressVPN or NordVPN wherever I'm connected to, and that will be sent encrypted back to my phone or my home or Firewalla, etc. So, two completely different things. If you want to have secure browsing, you want to have your DNS, unseen by your service provider, and you want all of your traffic encrypted from an anonymous type location, you might want to look into some of these VPN providers. Firewalla, Ubiquiti, AnyConnect, that's not what this is. So keep that in mind. So moving forward, let's take a look at Firewalla, OpenVPN, and WireGuard, and let's get going. So starting out, the Firewalla, OpenVPN, and WireGuard. So what we need to do, you'll see here on the screen, we need to open up our App Store. Now a lot of this stuff will be the same on Apple as it is Google. But in the App Store, we can come in here and we can find a few things. If we do search, we can look up OpenVPN. As you see here, the OpenVPN Connect is what I have currently installed. It's what we'll be using to connect to Firewalla. So if you get that, install it. We'll also check out WireGuard. You'll see here the WireGuard Fast, Modern, and Secure VPN. So these are the two options we have with Firewalla, of course. If we go to Cisco, and I can type it properly, AnyConnect. You'll see here the Cisco Secure Client. This is the AnyConnect client you can use for Cisco Firepower or Cisco ASAs on an enterprise style network. Most of you probably don't have the Firepowers unless you're a network engineer or looking at getting into enterprise security, but it's always a good idea to understand that as well. That is a huge topic, and we'll probably have a dedicated video for that. Lastly, I believe it is Wi-Fi Man. Yes. The Ubiquiti Wi-Fi Man is a really good tool that you can use if you have a Ubiquiti stack and you want to look at your Wi-Fi connectivity, but it also allows you to do a one-touch VPN, which we'll also be looking at. So for now, the first thing we're going to do is look at the OpenVPN solution, as you see here. So you have to create a profile for OpenVPN, especially with the Firewalla. In this case, you can look at a URL or you can use a file. Using Finder, select your device, go to OpenVPN under the Tabs app, and drop your OVPN and related cert key files into the file sharing window. Now this is more so if you're going to use a Mac. Since we're on the phone, it's going to be a little different. If you receive the profiles as an OVPN attachment mail app, you can open that in OpenVPN. We don't currently have that for the moment, so let's just minimize this and go back to our Firewalla app. Now once we're in the Firewalla app, we have to go to VPN server. This is going to create kind of our Remote Access VPN. As you'll see here, we have OpenVPN and WireGuard. We turn on OpenVPN, and you're going to see here that we have a server listed, which, keep in mind, the server listed here is part of Firewalla's dynamic DNS, DDNS or Dyn DNS. Currently, of course, what's happening is the Firewalla I have, the Firewalla Gold, is telling Firewalla's distributed dynamic DNS what my external IP address is, so it can tell firewalla.org. You'll notice here that OpenVPN is using UDP port 1194. We're going to see that port 40 is complete, so it seems like we're working. If you didn't have the OpenVPN app, you can of course install it right here from the app. It'll take you to the App Store. And one of the nice things about OpenVPN is the fact that you have a profile and you have a password. So if someone does get your profile, they might not be able to get in because it requires a password. You'll see it's a little different in WireGuard, but when we talk about that, you'll understand why I kind of like WireGuard better. Any means, if you go to the VPN profile here and you hit download, the download gives you the ability to download it to certain places. In this case, we have add tags, save to files. Save to files is really good if you want to save it on your phone or computer, but the nice thing is we can actually open it directly in OpenVPN. Now we look at the OpenVPN profile, looks good, hit add. Now you can also do a saving of the private key or password. Remember back in the Firewalla app how we had that password down there? Well, that password is what it's talking about. Without that password, you can't get in. So a lot of the times you might not want to save your password, because if someone steals your phone, they might be able to get into your home network. In this case, you can or cannot save it. So let's see if this thing shows me typing in my password. Which it doesn't look like it did. Okay. We hit. Oh, and by the way, I am not on my Wi-Fi right now. I'm actually just on cellular connectivity, so we'll be able to see what happens when we install the VPN on the phone. Once we hit connect, you need to add the VPN configuration to, at least on the iPhone. We hit allow, and then of course we need to type in our passcode. There we go. You're going to notice here that the OpenVPN profile was created, and you see up there the little VPN on the top right that went away. But you're going to see here that we are connected to OpenVPN now. So it says we have a private IP, bytes in, bytes out, and of course that server IP address we saw before, as well as the 1194 for UDP IPv4. We'll come back over here to Firewalla, and you'll be able to see, it should say if I have one. So it actually doesn't say if someone's connected. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. How can I basically show you this is actually working? Let me go to my RD client software. And let me connect to my server here. Let's try to add a new PC. This is going to be 10.2.200.2. Okay. Save. Connect. So you're going to see now that it's actually connecting. So you're going to see here that I'm actually connecting to my Windows domain controller on my local network. Let's see if this thing will turn sideways. It doesn't look like it will. But anyway, let's come in here and go to Server Manager just so we can show it. No, it's not good. One of the things about the RD client is it's... Anyway, you're going to notice I attached to my server. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect from... Let's see if there's a way... So it doesn't really look like there's a way to see who's VPN'd in. Oh, there you go. So now it shows I have one active VPN. Click on the active VPN connections and you're going to see that there's the OpenVPN default. Basically the profile that I created and installed in the OpenVPN app not too long ago. From here we can look to see who's connected. Well, pretty much just an external IP address because you don't really know who's connected. From here you can look at their VPN profile. And it looks like you can only have one VPN profile, so... View network detail. So you can actually come in here and see what they're doing. You can do other such things such as app control, your safe searches, blocking internet, etc. But it does not look like you can boot a VPN user. So yeah, it looks like with OpenVPN it allows you to connect really easily. You just get the profile and you use the password, and as you saw, I'm in my internal network. But like I said, I wanted to show you this to let you know that I'm not actually on Wi-Fi. So one of the things I wanted to do is I want to just really quick disconnect from OpenVPN so I can show you that I am actually not on Wi-Fi and that it is a VPN connection. So I click on the server and you're going to notice now it's not connecting. So that was OpenVPN. So let's try the next one. Let me turn that one off. And then it should remove the active VPNs and turn it off. Okay. It still shows active. So this thing really isn't like right now. But let's try WireGuard. Now you're going to see here that it uses the same external IP address and the same dynamic DNS, except now it's using UDP port 51820. Port forwarding is complete. You can do the app store from the Firewalla app, and of course you have your clients set up on the bottom. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and don't even bother using the QR code because I'm deleting this client. Alright, so you're going to notice a big difference between OpenVPN and WireGuard right away. You'll notice client setup, add a client. So instead of just downloading a single profile that everyone is going to use, WireGuard gives you the ability to provide profiles based on individual clients. And one of the things they say is that you don't want to share your profiles. And we'll get into that in just a second. Now you're going to notice here I have the QR code yet again. So if I had another phone or something, I could take a picture of that QR code and be granted access into my network. You'll notice we have the little exclamation, please do not use the same VPN profile on different WireGuard clients. So as I mentioned before, you create a profile for every connecting device. We could scan the QR code or we can download the profile. You're going to notice, like before, it brings up that WireGuard app. If I click on WireGuard, would like to add the VPN configuration, hit allow, put in your passcode, and now we have the ability to start the VPN. So once again, I want to come through here, open RDP client, and verify I am not connected to my local network, which I am not. Come back over here to WireGuard. You can see all the information about it. Public key, endpoint, allowed IPs, on demand. Same type of stuff we had before. We click on the enable button. you'll see the VPN show up. And now I'm able to connect to my home network. And you're going to see here now that I have remote desktop into my server. So, yeah, when you're talking about WireGuard and OpenVPN with the Firewalla, it is that easy. Open the Firewalla app, go to VPN servers, click on whichever one you want to use. In this case, I like WireGuard because it's client-based instead of a single profile-based. You can add a new client. It's connected. We're done. That is how cool and easy it is to set up a VPN in Firewalla. But for now, I need to remove that so no one else tries to get into my network. Now I've deleted the client. We're good to go. The next VPN I want us to look at, just remove some of this stuff from here, is Wi-Fi Man. This is the Ubiquiti VPN. So Wi-Fi Man basically allows you to show your connectivity to your Ubiquiti, to the internet, and wherever in the network, especially if you're on Wi-Fi. You can look at status. It'll tell you information about your device and connectivity, and allows you to discover systems on the network. But what we're actually worried about is under the Unify Network app. If we click on Settings, Teleport and VPN, Teleport, you're going to see here that we have Teleport. We can turn that on, generate a new link, and you'll see here that I have the option to open link with Wi-Fi Man. If I hit open, connect to Dream Machine Pro. Would you like to connect to this console's network via Transport VPN? Connect. You can check out the data collection and use and agree and continue. Once that's done, it'll authorize and activate the tunnel. And now you'll see we have connectivity to my Ubiquiti system. So let's come back over here to RD Client, connect back to my server, and you're going to notice I now have VPN connectivity using Ubiquiti. So how easy was that? Firewalla, OpenVPN, and WireGuard, super simple. Few minutes, you're up and running. Ubiquiti, super simple, up and running. Anyway, see you next time.